Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look in the gold market. Here we have just minor changes, but still we have something. In general, markets across the board standing in indecision, waiting for the results of the elections. But as I said today in the video dedicated to Great British Pound, we see that the elections journey is turning to the worst scenario. Once the idea of voting by mail was published in mass media, we said that will be the cornerstone and the Pandora box for elections. Because voting by mail can't be controlled tightly by the authorities, and potentially this is big background for mutual accusing, frauds and other stuff. Yes, if the difference between the candidates stands significant, it will not be as serious problem as in current situation. But now we think that our worst scenario is becoming the reality. Last week, 2 weeks before, and even a month before, we said that we suggest that current elections could be really tough, and a lot of things that is used in the current elections, I mean the voting procedure and in general how the situation stands, potentially bring significant risk that country could turn into the chaos with the massive social unrest around the elections. Some signs we see already that is going on here in the United States, but we think that it's more to come. Why? Because changing the gap between the Donald Trump and the Biden stands minimal. In too many states, the balance in the votes stands very fragile. Just 1, 2 maybe votes in favor of one or another candidate, for whom will be final voters will be belongs to. And it's definitely in recent states, approximately 5, 6 states that stands where the votes have not been calculated yet. Situation stands so that the minimal balance, the very fragile victory of one or another candidate, open the way to the losing side, starting to accusing in frauds and starting to investigations, making probes, involving some courts, launching the legal claims against the opponent in the states. That will make situation really terrible. And currently, from that standpoint, absolutely no difference who will win, Biden or Trump. This will happen anyway. I'm not sure that if Trump wins, he just give the victory to the Biden, or if Biden wins, just will surrender and acknowledge the victory of the Trump. No. They will appeal to the frauds, they will appeal to the mail-in procedure. That's a lot of ballots just were throwing out. As already some cases existed, in Texas, for example. They will try to, definitely will be some social unrest. This will be appellation in the Supreme Court, I suppose, in some states, voting. So we have still big journey ahead, I think. Currently, as you can see, markets slowly drifting higher, and based on anticipation of the Joe Biden victory. But I think that it's a bit too early to celebrate, so do not be deceived with this upward action. Yes, sooner or later, but anyway, we'll get the upward action just because of the current situation in global economy. It will be more stimulus, and definitely it will be some inflationary pressure, and markets will go higher when this turmoil around elections will be over. But first, we could get downward action. because investors, ahead of this holidays, ahead of the Thanksgiving, ahead of the Christmas, especially this, if the voting calculation will be postponed, some probes appear, something of that sort, they will increase demand for United States dollar, cash instruments, and United States Treasury bonds. Just to wait and see it on this on the cash when the situation will become clearer. So that's what we see. What I would like to say is that if you're worrying that market is going higher and you do not have the position, don't worry. I think that we still could get opportunity for taking the position, and I'm currently, think that we should be do not rely too much on this upward action that we see on the stock market, partially on the gold, some action on the euro probably. So it is too early to fall in the euphoria. Don't be deceived with this rally, especially on the stock market. We think that it's a bit too early to celebrate. So from the technical point of view, what we have on the gold. On the gold, you can see market has formed the bullish grabber recently. That theoretically suggests some upward activity, and this market should move higher and retest this previous top. Theoretically, this is possible. So market could return back to the 1935, 1940 area, back to the resistance where it was standing. That's what we have on a daily chart. In general, long-term standing here with the bullish trend while market stands flat, it's not a good sign for the gold. So usually when the bullish market starts, it should start faster, and this flat standing looks a bit heavy, and it could be the sign, as we call it, some kind of dynamic pressure, bearish dynamic pressure. This market could reestablish the new lows here, taking out of these lows. But in the short term, while markets wait for results, this may be some anticipation of the buying victory, market has formed this bullish grabber that in the short term suggests the upward action. Well, in general, this is not a bad sign because some traders, as you know, and some of us have taken the long positions around the 1880 area, and potentially with the hand shorts that we have, that could mean that we could get this ABCD pattern. So we can see on the hourly chart, this ABCD pattern, this market could complete based on the grabber 1936 level. It's OP, and retest the previous top on the daily chart. At the same time, guys, overall situation looks, as I said, a bit fragile, because take a look. Here on the 4 time frame chart, we have two bearish grabbers, and overall price action looks very heavy. So you can see a lot of overlapping candles, spikes, long shadows here, some frosting candles. It's gradual, but a small range, hour by hour, and it definitely seems that it's very difficult for the market to continue upward action. Still, with the short-term situation, the invalidation point still stands the same. It's around 1880. Currently, it's definitely not good sign for, not good place for taking the new long positions. So we keep our major trading plan intact. 3 levels to consider: 1870, 1880, 1850, and even 1825 area. That's the levels where we consider for taking the long position. Here it was 2 times. First one was right here. The next week, this week, was another chance to take position around the same level, 1870. Now, just if you have taken position, move stops to the break-even and see what will happen. That's all. I'm not sure if that's definitely a good sign for taking the short position, because overall situation stays tricky, guys, and except maybe these minor grabbers would not have some significant patterns to take the short position. That's mostly just warning to the bulls that overall situation stands not as clear as it seems on the first glance. Besides existence of XOPs here, it might be important that market could just tending to this target. Although this XOP probably not valid anymore because market has created the new top here. So this minor XOP we could erase, so it's not needed anymore. Theoretically, well, maybe I can't forbid you to take the short position, you could consider it, well, but be aware of this breakout. So if you would like to take the short position, you could rely only on the grabbers here, and you should place stop somewhere above this area. So the upward breakout here will erase bearish context and will tell you that gold is coming higher right to the OP. So yes, here could be placed tight stop, but overall background for taking the short position not very fascinating, let's call it in this manner. But currently it exists. So that being said, on the gold market, those who have long positions, keep long positions with the break-even stops, watching for 1936, maybe daily grabber will work. Others keep an eye on the same levels that we have discussed. Don't worry, we still think that it will be lots of problems around these elections, and it's really could happen that gold will show another drop before all this stuff will be over. We have a suspicious view on any short positions currently, and personally I do not plan to take any short position on the gold market by far. That's our view on the gold. Let's see how it will turn.